With a few hours left until the NBA trade deadline, the Dallas Mavericks are linked to this former NBA champion as their odds seem to have increased over the last few days. Also, Nico Harrison and Mark Cuban seem to be fielding some calls on a few certain NBA players to add a little bit of length and versatility to their team. My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavericks Digest, and I'm bringing you the latest and greatest of Mavericks news. But without further ado, first up on the docket, we got Mavericks odds to land Klay Thompson. You read it right, folks. Apparently, the Dallas Mavericks odds aren't the best right now. We're not the most favorite to land Klay Thompson, but we do have some odds, as you can see here from NBA Central. On this list, the Philadelphia 76ers are the favorites to land Klay Thompson, but if you just look a little bit further down the bottom of the list, we do have odds. The odds may not be in our favor. We may not be the favorite, but there's still a chance that we could potentially land former NBA champion Klay Thompson. And if we just look at his stats here for the season, he's shooting 17 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, 2 assists. He's shooting 41% from the floor, 37% from 3, 91% from the free throw line. As you can see, he's not too far off from his NBA career averages, especially after having those 2 seasons where he was injured. I want to say it was his Achilles and then it was his knee back to back. He was out for 2 years, came back. He's not the same Klay from 2016 to 2017, maybe even 2018 Klay. He is not that guy anymore, but that doesn't mean that he's washed up. And as of now, the Golden State Warriors don't even have any contract or extensions in play for Klay Thompson. Maybe Mark Cuban and Nico could get a trade package going for Klay. It would probably have to involve that 2027 first-round pick. Maybe Tim Hardaway Jr. Maybe have to add in a young player like Jaden Hardy to sweeten the pot. But I think there is something there. If we have any chance, even if it's the worst odds, I'll throw the odds back up there. We're below the Chicago Bulls with a plus 700 odds of landing Klay Thompson. As long as we have a chance, it's a possibility. Now, I'm not saying that we would have the best trade package. I'm sure other teams might have more enticing packages for the Warriors, but that doesn't mean that you still don't try, you still don't inquire, you try to persuade the Golden State Warriors that, hey, the era is over. The empire, the dynasty that you have built is no more. Everyone's getting older. You might as well trade Steph Curry to a real contender. Give us Klay Thompson so he can help Luka and Kyrie just make a good deep playoff push this year. His spot up shooting is elite still to this day. And even though Klay Thompson had a very rocky start to the season, again, that does not mean he's washed. That does not mean that he's still not that guy. The Golden State Warriors may just not be a good team right now to try to make a playoff push, but the Dallas Mavericks are poised. They're ready. We got the likes of Derrick Jones Jr., Grant Williams, Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic. Who doesn't want to play with Luka? Luka Mania, Luka Magic. Like, come on. Tim Hardaway Jr., I'll even package up Jaden Hardy and the 2027 first-round pick for Klay Thompson. We can go into the luxury tax if we need to, if the money doesn't line up. I think that'll be an integral piece for this Dallas Mavericks team. Provides much-needed spot-up shooting, and Klay Thompson is still a pretty good defender. He was very much well-known for his 3-and-D play back in the day of the Warriors and Cavaliers rivalry, but he's only 33 years old. He still has a lot more to give, a lot more in the tank, and if he wants to contend, Dallas would be a great place for him to go and really help Luka and Kyrie carry this team through the playoffs and into the finals. It's not that strong of a Western Conference, but anything can happen in a 7-game series. You don't want to get swept. You want to try to make a good push, especially when you got a great young talent like Luka Doncic. You got to do right by him. And if I'm Nico, I'm gauging. I am gauging Golden State. There was a report that came out earlier today from Steve Kerr that they are not going to be making any trades. I call malarkey, baloney. I call cap on that. For the right price, any player can be traded. Just it depends if you can afford that price. But Klay Thompson isn't the only Golden State Warrior player that the Dallas Mavericks have been linked to. Andrew Wiggins is on the Mavericks' radar. Andrew Wiggins is a player who, for lack of a better term, isn't really living up to his potential. When he was in Minnesota, they said he was washed. They said he was a scrub. They said that he was overrated. But when he got traded to the Golden State Warriors, it seemed that Andrew Wiggins really turned his career around. Became a really good role player for that team, helped them win a championship. And even though, just like Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins has had a pretty rocky start to the season, not doing his best. We can throw up his stats here. Oh, where are they at? Here we go. Andrew Wiggins. Only 12 points a game, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. He's shooting 43% from the floor, 31% from 3, not the best, and 71% from the free throw line. It's not great shooting splits. But that's why I believe that we could potentially get Andrew Wiggins for the cheap. Maybe a 1-for-1 Grant Williams. There was a report, if I can find it, here we go. The Mavs Warriors discuss Andrew Wiggins trade. What could player-for-player deal look like? The Mavs are among the possible trade suitors to monitor for Warriors wing Andrew Wiggins ahead of the midseason deadline. And even though we only have a few hours till then, Grant Williams. And I really wouldn't want to trade someone like Tim Hardaway Jr. for someone like Andrew Wiggins. Even though Tim Hardaway can be streaky, he's hot and he's cold, he's a high-volume shooter. I heard people nicknamed him Chuck because he just chucks up shots. But a 1-for-1 player for Andrew Wiggins, someone who's not really on the upswing of things for the Golden State Warriors, someone that's really not helping Steph contribute to winning at all. It seems like Steph's the only one on the Warriors really trying to win games. Maybe you can, flash a Grant Williams or a Tim Hardaway, just try to see what bait works for the Golden State Warriors. Maybe a young player like Josh Green, Jaden Hardy, maybe those two guys for Wiggins. I wouldn't want to give up too much for Andrew Wiggins, even though we are linked to him. There's rumors going around the rumor mill that the Dallas Mavericks and the Golden State Warriors for Andrew Wiggins. I wouldn't want to give up too much because, again, I'm not looking for Andrew Wiggins to be a starter. I just need a good bench player. We have to build the bench. We don't want to run Luke and Kyrie 45 minutes a game come playoff time in every matchup. We need guys like a Derrick Jones Jr. who can just come off the bench and be a spark plug for this team. We need more spark plugs. Maxi Kleber really isn't playing like himself. Dwight Powell is Dwight Powell, and Tim Hardaway Jr. is really all we have off the bench. And so if we can add more firepower to the bench, more spot-up shooters like a Klay Thompson or like Andrew Wiggins, he can slash, and his three ball, like I said, from the little graphic here, the three ball isn't really falling great for him this year, 31%. Not the best at all, very, very much bottom. But he wouldn't be a main person on defense that, on offense that the defense are keening on, so maybe he can get some easy shots. They're not going to put their best defender on Andrew Wiggins, which might help him contribute more. Just a thought out there. Again, the Dallas Mavericks, we're plugging in, we're gauging the market. I know a lot of fans are worried because they haven't seen any transactions. We only got a few hours left till the trade deadline, but that doesn't mean we're not working behind the scenes. You don't got to show your hand right away. Sometimes you got to wait till the last second to make a trade go through. But on top of Andrew Wiggins and on top of Klay Thompson, the Mavericks, they've got some other plans too. Dallas is looking for a two-way forward. Specifically, a versatile spot-up shooter, just versatile, long, a player who can stretch the floor, space the floor for Luka and Kyrie to just play good ISO ball, and Luka's patent drive and kick out to the corner, someone who can just catch and shoot. Again, we talked about Klay Thompson, we talked about Andrew Wiggins, but someone a little bit longer who could also help on the defensive end. The Dallas Mavericks, per NBA Central, the Dallas Mavericks are searching the trade market for a tall four with two-way ability and solid spot-up shooting. Now, I've got a few players in mind. There's no real reports of name dropping. It's like, who's exactly are the Dallas Mavericks looking for? But I've got a few players in mind, a few names I've seen float around the rumor mill that the Dallas Mavericks could definitely use. One is Kelly Olynyk. He's averaging 8 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. 56% from the floor, 42% from three, 84% from the free throw line. Those are some pretty good shooting splits. I know it's not on a high volume, obviously. Kelly Olynyk is 32 years old, a little bit on the older side. So if we were able to acquire someone like Kelly Olynyk, he's definitely going to have to come off that bench and provide good spot-up shooting. I got to look at the numbers again. I'm not sure if Maxi Kleber does it better than Kelly Olynyk, but you got to try something. Maybe you keep Maxi and Kelly. Somehow you can concoct a trade with Utah where you can keep Maxi and Kelly both on the floor, spacing it for Luke and Kyrie, especially spacing it for the pick and roll whenever we get Derek Lively back would be beautiful. We just need spot-up shooters. We need floor spacers, guys that are long that can also get rebounds but also space the floor and shoot that three. I think Kelly Olynyk is a good pick, and with Utah on the rise, I know that they could definitely go a little bit younger than Kelly Olynyk. Maybe you do trade it to Grant Williams. Maybe you go Josh Green or Jaden Hardy. Dante Exum, he's been playing very well this year. Maybe we can finesse a trade where we just give up Dante Exum, pair him up with Seth Curry. It's not Steph, but I mean, it's Steph light. I'm just saying, Mark Cuban, mainly Nico Harrison, but with those two guys in the front office, you got to make a trade happen. You gotta do what you gotta do. Make a finesse. Try to get over on another team and just try to come out on top. Like I said, we have a few hours left till the trade deadline. The playoffs are around the corner. This Dallas Mavericks team has been plagued with injuries, and we just need guys that can just Just have that next man up mentality, because that's definitely what we need right now. And come playoff time, you got to be ready. But another player I want to show you guys, and I need you to rock with me. You may not feel me on it, but Chris Boucher of the Toronto Raptors. As you can see here, he's 6'9", 200 pounds. He does have a smaller frame, but he is long, he is tall, averaging this season 6 points, 4 rebounds, shooting 48% from the floor, 33% from three, and 75% from the free throw line. Now, I know, before you say it, Marcel, what are you thinking? Like, those are not good shooting splits. Those are horrible numbers. Why would you think that we should even get somebody like this who's making around $11 to $13 million a year, obviously getting overpaid? I don't want to give up too much, but hear me out. I got a little copium for you. If we look at Chris Boucher's last few seasons, or his whole career breakdown, I got highlighted the 2020-2021 season where Chris Boucher was in the race for most improved and sixth man of the year. I want to say he finished 6th in most improved and finished 8th in the sixth man. Arguably his best season. In that season, he was averaging 13 points, 6 rebounds. He was averaging almost 2 blocks a game, shooting 38% from the three-point line on almost 4 attempts a night. Now, he was 28 then, he's 31 now. It's not too far-fetched to say Chris Boucher could return to that. It's not like he's 38 years old. He's not 37. He's only 31. And if you watch the Toronto Raptors, they've gone through a lot of roster changes, coach changes, people getting fired, getting traded left, right, and center. I mean, maybe Chris Boucher, we can get him on a cheap deal. Again, the trades, maybe Rashawn Holmes. The Raptors need size. They're lacking in bigs. They had to cut Christian Koloko because due to health reasons, he just couldn't play. They just got Jakob Poeltl back, and he's their only big after they traded Precious Achiuwa. Rashawn Holmes, we got him. Chris Boucher, you're not even playing Chris Boucher. Let me pull up the graphic again, wherever it may be. Here we go. Chris Boucher played 45 games this season. Not even every game. He had a couple DNPs. I know that looks like, pretty much all of our games, but there was a few DNPs in there. I got to find it for you. I'll put it up there. But Chris Boucher coming off the bench for this Dallas Mavericks team would be electric. A real floor spacer who definitely can shoot the three when he's wide open. A shot blocker when needed. He won't be able to help you with the Joel Embiids and the Jokic's and the Giannis of the world, but against a team with a smaller big, I'm thinking the Los Angeles Clippers. Zubac, he's a pretty strong big, but with Chris Boucher being able to space the floor, pulling Zubac out of the paint, now you got to guard him on the perimeter, and that's honestly where Chris Boucher excels and could be a real asset for this Dallas Mavericks team, just being that another spark plug off the bench. We got Tim Hardaway Jr., Chris Boucher could definitely be part of the rotation come playoff time to help these guys make a deep run. That's all that I got for you guys today. As the news roll out, I'll be cranking out these videos for you guys. Make sure you subscribe. Dallas Mavericks Digest. We're here. We're bringing the latest news, the greatest news, and you guys have been awesome. Thank you for sticking around, and I'll see you next time. Peace.